In this Instagram guide tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Instagram guides on your Instagram profile to help organize your content for people that come to check you out. And if you don't see the guides option, I found a little hack to getting it unlocked for your profile, and I'll show you that as well. Welcome to 5-Minute Social Media, where we help overwhelmed business owners ditch what everybody else is saying to do on social media and instead focus on the 20% of tasks that will make the biggest difference for your business, because that's going to drive 80 to 100% of your results and revenue. All right? If that's something you'd like in your business, more results with less work, take a second, hit subscribe, click that bell. That way you'll be notified each week when we release another helpful video. And if you want to learn more about figuring out what your 20% is to streamline your social media, then watch to the end of this to find out how to get a special invite. I'll be happy to start teaching you how to build this plan for yourself absolutely free. And I'll tell you how to come see this masterclass coming up in a few minutes here. My name is Jerry Potter. Yes, it rhymes with the boy wizard. And I'm going to show you how to use Instagram guides. Now, I've heard them called a cross between like a mini blog and Instagram's swipeable carousel posts. But to me, it's a great way to organize your content so that people can come and see it and learn more about you, but more specifically to get them binging your content. Rarely does somebody see one post and go, oh my gosh, this person's amazing, I'm going to hire them or buy from them or whatever it might be. It's usually after they've seen multiple pieces of your content. Well, now with Instagram guides, we can curate that for them. So if they go check us out, and you can even say, hey, go check out the guide on this exact thing, now all of a sudden they're checking out 5 of your posts in a row, and they're going to be that much closer to wanting to become your client or customer. Or they may be going, take my money, please, right? That's the dream for business owners. Now, if you just heard about guides, but you haven't seen them before, they show up on your Instagram profile. So here I am on mine. And there are 4 tabs just above all the posts on your profile. The first one is, of course, your post. The second one is Reels. And that third one, if somebody has guides, will show up, and it looks like a little map or a brochure. So I tap on that, and this is where your guides show up on your profile. And so here's the one I made, Tips for Camera Shy Entrepreneurs. I tap on that. Has a nice cover, the title, a description, and then basically, it's a collection of posts that I chose where I give out tips for camera-shy entrepreneurs. So let me show you how I created this so you can create guides for your profile. And then moving forward in an Instagram story or anytime you want to promote it, like this content lives on forever. So you can say, hey, and by the way, if you are a camera-shy entrepreneur, check out the guides in my profile and get some tips. So first thing we're going to do, you do need to be on your profile and click that plus sign at the top right. Now, if you're here on your home tab, which is the tab on the lower left, then there is a plus sign, but that one is not going to have it. So you get to your profile by clicking the little circle in the lower right with your photo in it. That should have your profile picture. So from there, I'm going to hit that plus sign on the upper right, and you can see it's going to let me create a reel, post, story, etc. And I'm going to click on guide because that's what we're doing. Next, you can choose your guide type. So your guide could be about places, and then it could link to actual places. You know, maybe it's a collection of your favorite restaurants, if that's pertinent. Or it could be about products, if you have products in a shop, or it could just be products you like from other places on Instagram. So that's one thing about guides is it doesn't have to be a collection of your stuff. It can be your stuff and somebody else's. Or what I think most people will use it for, and what I'm going to use it for, is posts. And this can be posts that you created or saved from other people on Instagram. So I tap posts. And the first tab that's going to come up, some of these are my posts. Most of them are not, because these are posts that I've saved on Instagram. I don't actually save posts on Instagram very much. You can see there's just a screen and then a handful there. But these are all the posts you've saved. But if you look on the bottom of the screen, it says all saved. And then there's another tab that says your posts. So I tap your posts. And now this is going to bring up my posts. And I can click the little circle on the lower right of each post that I want to use. So for the Camera Shy Entrepreneurs Guide, I'm going to choose the videos that I've made recently that are about helping people get more comfortable on camera. Once you've got the post selected that you want, hit next on the upper right. And this is the screen where we're going to customize your guide. So first thing, it says add title. It's kind of hard to see there, but you want to tap that and give your guide a title. So I'm going to call this Tips for Camera Shy Entrepreneurs. Once you've got your title the way you want it, the next thing is underneath that, you see it says change cover photo. So this just chose a photo or a still from one of the posts that I chose. Like, see this reel where I'm on a swing? That's where they pulled that image from. I don't really like the way that looks, so I'm gonna click Change Cover Photo. And there's a few places you can get cover photos from. First tab there says Your Posts. You can choose from any post you've ever done. Next, you can choose from posts you saved on Instagram. And then the last one on the lower right there will just be the posts that you chose for the guide. Now, I want this to kind of, this is sort of the cover of your guide, and I want it to look nice. And so I don't want a still from one of my reels that's designed to be, watched as video. So I'm just going to scroll down. Now, you can't choose anything from your camera roll as of this recording, but it wouldn't surprise me if they added that later. But I'm just going to pick another post that I have of a photo of me, put that there. I like the way that looks. Next, what is this guide about? Now, this is optional, but I do recommend putting in a description of some sort that gets people to want to watch. So for this one, I said, hate being on camera, but want to promote your business on social media. These tips help me become more comfortable on video. So what is going to make them want to scroll through and watch or browse or whatever it might be? And then down below, here are the 4 posts that I chose, and each post can have a title and a description. Now, the title is required. So if you look on the upper right of the screen right now, the next button is grayed out, and that's because I haven't titled these yet. So give your posts a title that will make people want to watch. For the sake of speed with this, I'm just going to call them tip number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then if you want, you can add that description as well. Now, at the very bottom here, you'll see it says add posts. So if you decide you wanted to add additional posts to this, you can do that. And by the way, you can do this later, even after it's published. So you might have a guide that you continuously add new posts to. So for example, I might have a guide for Facebook tips and a guide for Instagram tips, different things like that. So you can keep coming back and adding new things to your guide. And then one more thing to show you before we hit next. Next to any of these posts that you've chosen, you'll see those 3 dots on the upper right there. You can tap those. And you can remove this, like if you decide you don't want a certain post anymore, you can take it out, or you can click reorder the posts. It'll bring up this screen and you hold your finger on the 3 lines of the post that you want to move. Hold your finger on the 3 lines and then you can drag it up and down and then let go. So I've obviously numbered these 1 through 4, so I'm going to go ahead and leave them in that order. Hit done. Once the guide looks the way you want it, go ahead and hit the next button on the upper right. It shows you what the cover of your guide is going to look like, so you can see that there. And then you can tap the little blue text that says preview, and it'll actually show you exactly what the guide will look like to people who are visiting it. So depending on what the content is, this is where you might want to include a description for each of them. With this one, I think it's pretty clear. Each of these is a tip for a camera-shy entrepreneur, so I didn't feel like I needed a description for each one. But that's kind of your last chance to see, does it look the way you want? If it doesn't, tap the little arrow on the upper left. You can go back and edit further. Next, if you're not quite done, you want to come back to this later, you can hit Save as Draft at the bottom. Otherwise, hit Share. It'll publish to your profile. Now we're here back on my profile. You can see I've actually got 2 copies of this guide because I had the one that I made so that I could show you what it looked like, and now we just made an additional one. So let me show you how to edit and delete these if you want to do that later. So I can tap on the guide, and I can tap the 3 dots on the upper right, and right there I can hit Delete Guide, or I can hit Edit Guide, and when you come into Edit, you can actually change the title, the description, the cover photo, everything that you did when you first created it. You can still go back and edit it. When you're done, hit Done. And one more thing I want to show you in your guide is down there at the bottom, you can actually comment on the guide if you want, as can other people. But you also have that little share button. So I would suggest that as a minimum, you can share the guide to your stories. And that way you can get some more people going to actually see the guide. Now, if for some reason guides aren't available yet on your profile, what I found worked for me is if you go to somebody else's profile that has guides, then after you get to the bottom of their guide, it'll say, hey, want to try guides? And so I encourage you to do that. In fact, I've linked to one of my guides in the description of this video, so you can actually go to mine and click that, and hopefully that should unlock guides on your profile. Now, most people seem to use guides as an afterthought, but I would strongly encourage you to be thinking about the guide as you plan out your content. So as you plan your next 5 posts, how could they tie together to also be great in a guide? Because in the future, when a post comes out, you can give one piece of the puzzle and then say, hey, if you want all of these, click guides on my profile, and then they can go and binge more of your content. All right? Was this helpful? If so, please leave me a comment or give this video a like. And by the way, if you really want to convert people who come to your profile into buyers, clients, and customers, well, there are 4 important things that you need to have on your profile, and I'd love to teach you in my Profitable Pages and Profiles workshop. Hundreds of business owners, maybe thousands at this point, have implemented what I teach in this workshop into their businesses, and a lot of them see results within a day or two. Like Portia, who stayed up one night making sure her Facebook personal profile was set up the right way and got a new lead and client the next morning. Or Jen, who used the workshop to make over her pages and profiles and got 2 inquiries within 18 hours that led to over $1,000 worth of new business. But the record's got to be Tom, who set up his Facebook business page using what we teach in the workshop, hit publish, and 30 minutes later, a woman called his business to book him, and he said, "Where'd you hear about me?" And she goes, "Oh, I searched on Facebook and your page came right up." This is a way to increase sales without more posting. Worse yet, if you haven't set up your pages and profiles the right way, you could already be missing out on potential sales right now. Inside, I'm going to show you the 4 essential items every page and profile needs so that visitors become buyers. And the best part, go through this process once and it will serve you for years. Now, normally it's $47, but right now if you go to profitablepage.com/YouTube, this is a special link for people on YouTube, you can get this entire workshop for only $17. Again, that's profitablepage.com/YouTube, and of course you can also find that in the description of this video. And you know what? I'm going to throw in a couple of bonuses as well. If you're not sure that you are on the best social network or networks for your business, I have a 5-part framework that I use with people to help make sure that you're in the right place. Like, where's your content going to perform the best? It goes so much further than just where is my audience. You need to make sure you can reach them, you can engage with them, all of those things. And I'm going to throw that in as a bonus, as well as if you have social networks you're not posting on as much anymore, I have a special training called How to Revive Your Abandoned Networks so that it doesn't look like you went out of business on Twitter 8 years ago. You get both of those now. Again, go to profitablepage.com/YouTube to get that special price just for YouTube viewers right now. Thank you for watching today. You're not only supporting me, but also my 2 tiny superheroes at home.